Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Sachin Education Hub in English. Friends, today we will discuss what is finance lease and operating lease. This is a very important two types of leases, right? And firstly we will consider the meaning of these two terms, and thereafter we will see on the differences between these two terms as well. And the difference between these two terms is a very important question for the purpose of exam in the 5 marks. So this is very important question. You all have to do this for the purpose of exam. Coming to the very first thing, what is finance lease? What is finance lease? In very simple term, a commercial agreement where the leaser allow the lessee to use the assets for the fixed term, and also transfer the risk and reward to the lessee with asset. This is considered as finance lease. I can repeat it again. Commercial agreement where the leaser allow the lessee to use the asset for the fixed term, and risk and reward also, and there is a transfer of risk and reward with the asset to the lessee is also is called finance lease. In detail, if I will consider it that there is a option for the lessee to purchase this asset once the agreement once there is an expiry of term. Once the agreement got completed, once there is an expiry of an agreement, lessee have a right to purchase this asset as well. So in this agreement, you can say that finance lease is in a simple term, leaser allow the lessee to use the asset for the fixed term, and once the asset, once the and there is a risk and reward transfer as well, and once the agreement completed, or once there is an expiry of term completed for the agreement purpose, lessee have an option to purchase this asset as well from the leaser. So this is a finance lease. What do you mean by the term operating lease? This is an opposite side of the finance lease. In this case, there is a commercial agreement where the leaser allow the lessee to use the asset, but there is no risk and return transferring. Or you can say that there is no transfer of risk and return with the asset to the lessee. Or always there is a one thing, there is no right as well for the lessee to to purchase the asset after the expiry of term of an agreement in this case. So there is a difference between these two terms as a part of definition. So this is the meaning. And coming to the very second point, nature. Once the definition will be completed, look on the nature. Firstly, the finance lease is a type of loan agreement, but if we consider the operating lease, this is a type of rental agreement where we have to be pay a small installments timely. But once we see on the finance lease, there is a type of loan. Once you taken the loan, this is a type of finance lease. But if we paying the rent timely or the monthly basis, you can consider it as operating lease. So there is a type of nature in this case for the purpose of leases. Third one is the lease term. Or in the case of definition, we already consider the term fixed term or the shorter term. So which lease is a type of fixed term, or which lease have a higher terms? Finance lease. Finance lease is that type of lease where the agreement is for the fixed term or for the longer term than operating lease. But if we talk about operating lease, this is a type of agreement where we have to be paid timely rent, and there is no transfer of risk and return. So this is a smaller term, or you can consider it as a agreement where the agreement is of shorter term, not of a longer term. Okay, so this is the difference in between these two terms on the basis of lease term. Coming to the another point, risk bearing for the obsolescence. As you all know, lease means leasing of an asset. So leasing of an asset means in the finance lease, you are transferring your risk and return with the asset transferring. So in simple word, once the asset got transferred to the lessee, the risk and return on this asset or the obsolescence risk on this asset is also transferred to the lessee. So lessee have to bear this risk. But once we see on the operating lease, there is no any condition on transferring of risk and return with the asset to the lessee. So lessee have no any type of risk on the basis of obsolescence. Once the asset got obsolete, this is a risk of leaser in the case of operating lease. But once we see on the finance lease, this is a risk of leasing, because there is a risk and reward transferring with the asset to the leasing. So this is the risk, this is the obsolescence risk difference in between these two terms. Coming to the another point, transferability of the risk and reward. This is, I think I don't have to repeat it again and again. Risk and reward transfer in case of finance lease, but in case of operating lease, there is not any transfer of risk and reward. Coming to the very last point, that is the cancellation of lease. Cancellation means termination of the lease, or the agreement got vanished, or the agreement got expired, or the agreement got cancelled, right? First main thing is, in the case of finance lease, agreement or the commercial agreement or the lease will be cancelled only the happening of a certain specified event. Only on the happening. It means once the specified event will be happen, only then finance lease will be, or the agreement on the finance lease will be cancelled. Otherwise, in case of operating lease, you can do it at any time. There is no any specific event, or there is no need to happen any specific event. In this case, you can do it, or the leaser will do it at any time. So can be done at any time without any happening. So this is all about today, friends. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you have any problem, please comment in the comment box. And anyone if need any type of notes, then join our Telegram channel as well, and the link for the Telegram channel is in our description box. So this is all about today. Thank you, friends. Have a nice day.